America is our species' chance for a new beginning.
What is going on, guys? I am Joe Deckelmeyer at ScreenRant. We are at WonderCon 2025 in beautiful Anaheim, California. I am with the creators and cast of Gremlins, The Wild Batch. Tze Chun, we got Brandon Hay, we got Joe Dante, the consulting producer, also original director of the Gremlins films. Sherry Chung, the composer of this beautiful, amazing show. AJ LoCasio, he plays Gizmo, and the legendary John Glover. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. First question is, Wild Batch is so much fun, and it really takes Gremlins into a new, fun direction. Can you talk about the challenges of expanding the Gremlins mythos while staying true to the original and also doing something completely original than the films did?
Sure. I mean, we were so just excited that Amblin and Joe kind of allowed us to play in this universe, and everybody loves Gremlins. There hasn't been a lot of new Gremlin stuff in the last 30 years, and we were just happy to join the canon.
Incredible.
Yeah. And I think it is also for season 2, we wanted to be the same way Gremlins 2, the new batch, got weirder, wilder, bigger than the original. We wanted to do the same thing here.
Joe, I want to talk to you because you directed the Gremlins films, which are absolutely iconic. Now, directing the original films, how has the franchise evolved for you into animation now, seeing it evolve into animation now?
Well, I was so exhausted after making the first picture that I wished it was animated. And then the first picture was surprisingly successful, and so they said immediately they wanted another one. But I said, no more puppets. I can't do puppets. I'm tired of puppets. So I went away, and they tried to figure out a way to do another one, and they couldn't figure it out because they didn't understand the first movie. So they came back and they said, all right, do something for us and give it us on this date, and we don't care what it is, just do it. So I figured, okay, I guess I'll do a movie about why there shouldn't be a sequel to Gremlins. And apparently it's been, up to now, pretty successful.
Absolutely.
Except for this show, which I think is a brilliant way of getting back into the Gremlins franchise without having to slavishly copy what was done before.
I actually want to talk about that for a second because this has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, a very rare feat in this day and age. Talk to me about what it is about Gremlins that connects with new fans and old fans alike that is the core of Gremlins that makes it so successful.
I think there's something Z said early on that I think Gremlins really does. I think, a lot of Joe's movies do. I think a lot of Amblin does, which is it's a kid point of view with adult life or death stakes. And I think that is something that is surprisingly rare, and especially the way it is done in the Gremlins films, and as we've tried to carry on, is you also want to make sure the scares are genuinely scary, the heart is genuinely emotional, and the laughs are genuinely funny. So it's like as long as you hit that stuff, again, from a kid point of view that everybody can understand, it's hard not to love.
Absolutely. Now, John, you were iconic in the Gremlins franchise. You played Daniel Clamp.
Yes.
In Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
Talk about what it was like returning to the franchise.
Oh, I missed the puppets. Yeah, I played with a microphone. So, it was, I remember, I didn't see the first Gremlins. And then when I got offered to well, here's the story. I said I should watch it. So I watched it, and there's a dog in it at one point. And the Gremlins, I had to turn it off because I was so afraid that they were going to do something terrible to the dog. So I didn't finish watching it. But then when I was working with them, I mean, it took about 7 or 10 people to make those puppets do what they were amazing. And we'd set up for a scene and they'd be playing with me and everything. And then they were ready to shoot. And then all of a sudden they all died. Because the people went away. Because there was one person to do the eyebrows and the eyes. It was amazing. But then I started playing with a microphone, and it wasn't fun anymore. That's my story.
Yeah, Gremlins is always fun, John.
Am I going to kick me out of the boat now? Because
it's been a good run. If you can find your way home.
But those people were so talented, and the puppetry was amazing. I mean, it was genius, and I miss it. I mean, I like to play with people, not microphones. I mean, gosh.
Now, Sherry, I want to talk about the music for a second, because in season 1, we get a Chinese musical influence, and we get a bit of a Southern twang in season 2. Can you talk about how the setting kind of influenced the sound of the show?
Absolutely. I mean, this is like one of the first conversations that Z and Brendan and I were having. That's like, it's 1920s, it's in China, let's not lean away from it. And we've sometimes in some projects that I do, like we want an Asian flair to it, but we don't want to alienate a crowd or a certain kind of thing. So but you guys were like, let's just like lean into it and go for it. So I brought in, real traditional Chinese instruments and really leaned into that. And then when we go to season 2, we're going to a little bit more of a Western feel. So we're bringing in some Americana, we're bringing in some of the sort of the American influence on the Asian music, and it's just a really, really fun thing to explore in the score.
Incredible. Awesome. Now, AJ, Gizmo is absolutely iconic in the Gremlins franchise. Can you talk about your approach to voicing him while staying true to Howie Mandel's original performance?
I mean, I'm just trying to do just trying to make you think that is the original Gizmo and nothing has changed. That is my goal, is just to slip in, do my bit, and then disappear and just go, yeah, that's Gizmo. Which is, I mean, it's a voice my dad used to do when I was a kid, where he would like read me stories and stuff. Just like, oh yeah, once upon a time. So it's lived in me for forever. So when this came up, I was like, oh, can't everyone do this voice? So I didn't realize that. Apparently not. Yeah. But for me, it's literally just like, what is Gizmo? What's the core of Gizmo? And trying to maintain that. I remember doing some improvisation sort of at the end of the audition, where I was just like, some of the sweeter sounds he makes, and not just the squeaks, but like some of the like coos and sweet, because Gizmo's sweet, but also feisty.
Right.
And so he's all over the spectrum of emotions, and trying to maintain that heart it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
it's a lot of pressure.
Because he does have a multitude of range of emotion, but he's not known as a character that has a lot to say normally.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the emotional depths of the character with the limited dialogue you have for Gizmo?
Yeah, I mean, we did also kind of a Mogwai language we worked with, which was basically like, here's your English in the script, and then we would like sand it down. So it was just like, if it was like, look out, it'd be like, it was just like a sound that was sort of reminiscent of the beats of that, but not English or any real language other than Mogwai. But yeah, trying to find the heart of every scene, because there's so many moments within the show where it's like, he's sad, he's hurt, he's angry, he's freaking out or hulking out, and
Season 2, we got to have you go crazy.
I get to go crazy. Yeah, you get to see sort of the dark side of Gizmo a little bit. Him almost like Evil Dead holding it inside. It was like, is really fun to do.
That's incredible.
You'll get arrested if you do that out in public, but you get to do it here, and they pays you.
That sounds good. Now, Joe, I have a question for you, because Gremlins 2 was famously meta and satirical. How has that DNA been carried over into Gremlins: The Wild Batch?
Pretty well, I'd say. I mean, what really interested me in the approach that these guys were taking is that it was not a reverent approach to the first 2 movies. This was like, okay, there were these movies, and we know why people watch them, but now we want to do something different with them. And the idea of going back to the beginning and starting, how this franchise developed and how this character was found by this kid who then becomes Mr. Wing, who's the keeper of the Gremlins, it was extremely clever. And I basically called in. I found out they were doing it. I called them up, and I said, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. And I came in and I met everybody and we talked about stuff, and all of a sudden I was getting a credit, which was nice too. But basically I just said, make sure he doesn't get wet, and don't put him out in the sun. I just told them the rules again.
Feed him after midnight.
This is really all their stuff. I mean, I was very happy to be a part of it, but this is something these guys really cooked up on their own.
Now, with what you did with Gremlins 2 to Gremlins 1 was obviously a different tone and a different take on the film. What would a Gremlins 3 look like if it were to exist now?
Well, I don't know, because I probably won't be involved in it when it happens. But I'll tell you one thing that I don't think it will be is I don't think it will be a CGI festival, because I think that the people who own the rights to this thing are committed to doing another Gremlins movie the same way that the other ones were done, with on-set puppetry, which, by the way, has grown in leaps and bounds. So, and with the aid of CGI, you could do even better puppetry now. So we don't know. There are no plans that I know of. I know there's all sorts of stories that have been going out for 30 years. Oh, it's coming out next week, But as far as I know, I don't know.
as you make the announcement at CinemaCon next week that Gremlins 3 is coming. I'm just kidding. John, like I said, you've been iconic in this franchise, but you have a role in episode 6 that has carries on the Clamp family legacy. Without giving too much away, what can you tell us about the character?
I wish I could remember what it was. I'm 80 and a half years old now, and my memory is just gone, kaput.
You look fantastic.
We have to remember that the timeline for creating animation is very long.
Sure.
And so, I was 18 when I pitched this show.
Oh my God! No, they gave me the thing to watch, but I didn't know how to get it on because I couldn't figure out how to. Phones now, I can't. There are too many buttons, and I don't know what they do.
It's evolving too fast for me as well at this point now.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
the only one.
I know. I feel you. Man.
How
Like,
old are you?
I'm 42.
Oh my God!
But
I was 42 once.
Yeah. You look younger than I do, John. So I'm just putting that out there. Now, I do want to talk about your character, Daniel Clamp, in the original series. He was a satirical take on a big corporate mogul from that era.
Yeah.
How much of that energy that you can remember is into the character that you play this time around on Wild Batch?
Well, I was trying for that, but like I say, I was playing next to a microphone, and it just, I don't even. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm
Next
at a
time we'll
blank.
get you puppets.
Yeah.
We'll bring some puppets
Please,
in.
somebody
in the
yeah.
room,
Right,
puppet
just
against
like,
Just to
okay.
just to scare you into being
yeah.
you won't be so distracted by the microphone.
I had such fun with them. I mean, we had a ball.
That's
but
incredible.
I don't know how to have a ball with a microphone. So
You sounded amazing. I was going to say it sounded like you're having a ball. There's no.
did it?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, okay.
There's no fear on that.
thank
it turned
God.
out great.
Oh, all right.
You'll
Thank
see the
you.
episode in like an hour.
Well, I get
you
to
did
see
great.
it today.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy. Yeah, thank you.
AJ, I want to finish this off asking you a question because, listen, X-Men 97 was my favorite piece of content that came out. And there are 4 words that stuck with me. And
I wonder what they are.
When Rogue said, I can't feel you, that broke my heart.
Same.
I know that you're a big Gambit fan. With moving into X-Men Season 2, for those comic fans out there, what run would you recommend that they read in the X-Men in order to get them prepared for X-Men Season 2?
This is a very clever way of making me give you spoilers.
Oh, in your opinion. You don't have to say, like,
if
what-
I know anything.
Sure.
I mean, I would just rewatch the show again.
There you go.
It's hard because with X-Men, there's so much lore. There's no straight path. Everything branches out into a million different things. And I don't know, rewatch the original show, rewatch X-Men 97, but comics, just go buy all the Pizza Hut stuff from the 90s and just smell the boxes and look at the grease stains that are probably still in there.
Right, Night
And
of the Sentinels, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Watch the VHSs, but man, I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing. And then also, if it makes you feel any better, I don't remember anything I've recorded ever because I feel like when we do it, we're just like, okay, AJ, now you're hanging from a chandelier. Yeah. Now you're doing this. So for me, it's all a blur of, so it's just, when I see it, I'm always so blown away by like, oh, that's what we did. And that's not this show. That's every show because you have no visual reference for anything that's going on. It's just you guys yelling at me going, okay, so now you're being stabbed.
So Gambit and Gizmo could blend into one for you.
I've signed things, Gizmo or Gambit, interchangeably all the time. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
One
They both have a
cosplays
G.
as
Gizmo and Rogue's tender scene together.
Oh, I love that scene.
That's amazing. Well, look, something I love is Gremlins Wild Batch. There's a reason why it has a 100% on the tomato meter. Go check it out yourself. It is an incredible show. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know Kung Fu?